as a leader in the breed, I gotta have courage. I gotta deal with a lot of things, and sometimes saying the truth, sometimes saying the facts, sometimes teaching and helping people understand certain facts, certain truth. It carries that, you will make some crowds uncomfortable. Okay, you'll make some people uncomfortable. On this occasion, and just like about most of the occasions in my life in the last 10 years, I haven't really been like going after anybody, and I'm not going after anybody in particular on this particular audio. So, some people might know what this is, and they're, these Chico. No, I don't need to. I don't need to pick up beef with anybody, but if beef comes, it's okay with me. I'm the greatest. So, what I wanted to do with this video, I want to educate people. There's a lot of differences. There's a lot of dogs that are called pit bulls. They call American Pit Bull Terriers. And all of them are absolutely below the belt to qualify into an American Pit Bull Terrier. They don't qualify in the mark. They don't qualify because they are maybe great pets. They don't have the right parents. They don't have the right grandparents. They don't have the right network. They don't have the right breeder, which will be the first thing, the proper breeder, and those things. And so people want to promote the positive image of the breed, and it's absolutely perfect. And I applaud those people. I do applaud them. But there's several debates that have come through, and one of them lately has been like, why will Chico say that, no black dogs for himself? And it's not that I don't like black dogs. If the numbers of the highest, most successful dogs in the world were white collar or black collar or even blue collar for the matter, or merle collar, the best dogs, if the Ciega de Greats, if the Chilindrinas, if the Backmans, if the Awesome Maydays, if the Mechanic Bugs, the Ciega de Greats, all those dogs were merle colors. Believe me, I will have nothing but merle dogs. But that's not the color of those dogs. Black is not the color of those dogs either. So the only reason why I have reds is because reds are the very top of the production. And I know that some people are like, Chico, but your dogs are not real, how do you call it, old family red nose. I don't give a crap about old family red nose, to be honest with you. I do understand the importance of them, and I'm not even saying that I don't give a crap to the very old ones that came in, because I do. They play a very important part, like Ferguson's Centipede. Of course I play. Very important part in the past. But all those 40 years going back, zero. Do not care. Some guy had a little bit of success. He a little bit about my mother, my father gave me these dogs. All the stories, really don't care. You're not on the top of Dogs of the Year, the greatest dogs, blah, blah. You're not there. You just don't exist to me. You see, on the process of selection, you're going to select one out of 100,000, and everything else that might be much better than the last position might be the best choice for somebody. But for me, where I'm standing here is not my choice, because I got the opportunity to have a better choice. But I created a choice for me as a breeder, as a dogman. I created my own bloodline, my own staff. But sometimes when you pair a regular awesome buck, just one day, the guy that took this picture, his name is James Tungle. He's a brother that passed away. Rest in peace, James. To a good friend of mine called Francel Tungle from Houston, Texas. And he was a photographer. And so he got a new camera, and one day Francel called me and said, James wants to try his camera. Why don't you bring us some bucks since you wanted to meet me for lunch? So I just grabbed him and brought him with me. No special condition, nothing. That's awesome buck right there in the picture on the top. And this dog at the bottom is a dog that was conditioned maybe for a show, whatever. Awesome buck on this picture, he was about 4 years old. Okay, he looks a lot better when he was conditioned. Unfortunately, at the time we didn't have all these technologies. The iPhone didn't come out, and so on and so forth. So we don't have any pictures of him literally with the digital world, where he was conditioned. Today I would have just destroyed everyone if I would have had those pictures. Just amazing. But for some people, the understanding of beauty, and this is what I want to get to, the reset to what beauty is. A lot of times people that, when I was helping them to be judges, they'll be like, Chico, how can I be a good judge? I said, grab a book that has 100 pictures of the best dogs in the world, best grand champions and champions. Take a look at those. and that's your format. Imprint those. Get the 10 best dogs. Round that up to 10 best dogs. When you got those 10 best dogs, the best dogs, those are the dogs you're looking for. Because come from performance. Those are the real dogs, the grand champions, the rums, the best dogs. And the show dogs, unfortunately, they have a lot of there's things that happen in the show dogs that don't happen in the real world of game dogs. Or it didn't happen back then in the dates of the game dogs. Also, book is from 2001, 2, 3, and 4 maybe. And so what happens is with all these other dogs in the shows, you got judges. And judges have they have an idea of what they're looking for. And you get points according to judging. So a show dog can have a lot of points because a lot of judges. But that's when you compare it to a dog like Awesome Buck, then you understand the level of understanding of what a game dog should be. You know, whether they have the right image or they don't have the right image of what a real American Pit Bull Terrier looks like in their best shape. This dog, the Awesome Buck dog, is not even in his best shape. But if you got half a brains, you can tell a huge difference by looking at the back ends. The power, the drive of the freaking Awesome Buck. If you're looking at the chest, how full it is, the shoulders, the neck, everything. I mean, it's just unbelievable. And, I mean, you can tell he's choking on the collar. We had to come up with the colors we have. You know, these sort of dogs is absolutely different. So what is the real American Pit Bull Terrier? The real American Pit Bull Terrier is going to be the dog that is bred, raised, loved, cared by the man that knows, and he's proven on creating a tremendous amount of dogs and consistency at the highest level of American Pit Bull Terriers through long periods of time. These stuff don't happen overnight. And the opinion of judges or Facebook, heart killers that are nobodies, or YouTubers and stuff, that don't matter. Their opinion don't count. It doesn't matter if they have 1 million followers or 2 followers. There is 0.00000. Don't count for nothing. Facts is the best American Pit Bull Terriers on the last 40 years have been predominantly red noses, descendants of buckskins, and some of them go back to black noses. And there is something called the setting of a breed. When the breed finally goes to a point that goes from mixing some dogs into having working bloodlines, into having successful bloodlines, into having some very high-level breeders that make a mark in the breed, and they take those dogs and you breed those bloodlines among themselves, and you go through colors. Sometimes they were white, maybe they were brindles like the Kobe back in the past, and then they start to become a different pattern of colors. Then they became blacks, and there was a time where the black dogs were the best dogs, or some of the best dogs. But there is a process of becoming better. And in that process of becoming better, we can't deny it. The influence of the old dogs from the old family red nose, as Richard Stratton said on his writing. The ones today, they absolutely they're not worth it. And they can get upset, that's okay. They're not worth it. The modern old family red nose, the group of dogs that I told you, the Bagman, Chico the Great, Copper Day, all those dogs are the group of dogs that set a standard so high that those other dogs cannot even touch. And show dogs will not even touch. So for you guys coming into the breed and are wondering, your blue dog is not even a real pit bull at all. You just don't qualify for it. Has never, listen, go back to 1980, 70, going backwards. There's never these Carver-like, these Eric Tudor-like successful men that had this yard full of successful blue dogs. Non-existent. Happened with the Reds. Even the blacks. There is a man by the name of Floyd Boudreaux, very successful with black dogs. Very successful in his time. He was successful. So I don't have to say that, I don't even have to convince you that red dogs are better. Just red dogs are the latest, most advanced, merited dogs. Reds is the way to go. Okay? And I saw the transformation. I started in 1990, so I saw transformation. I saw guys that had all black dogs and they changed. I saw entire areas that had those dogs, and they changed into reds. But then they didn't understand how to get it. So even when they wanted to get, they heard this buck, and whatever. I don't like buck, to be honest with you. But, I study, so my opinion keep on growing. It keeps becoming better. So when you go back and you look at buck, I don't like buck. I really don't. And me and Akert had this conversation. He said Chico was hurt. That dog should be called Awesome Maiden, not Awesome Buck. Awesome Maiden at that time, which Awesome Maiden exists later as a son of Awesome Buck. But all those dogs come from red colors. They go back to those red dogs from Patrick's. For those dogs that go back to the old family red nose, to those red boy dogs that we all know goes to the old family red nose. Not the one today, not those Morgan, whatever dogs they got today. Not to those dogs. And so these warrior dogs, these really sensational dogs, and we got to give credit to Hollingsworth, which, didn't create any brutal amount of grand champions himself, but he was hitting on the right keynotes at one point. And he did have the courage to breed to Cody, to reject Buck, and to breed, to go out there and recognize the power of yellow and breed to yellow, and then come back and this Mayday dog was created. And then you start learning about all the Mayday stuff, the Eli stuff, the Red Boy stuff. All these guys that talk like this are absolutely morons. And some of them are going to be stuff, they're morons. Because what you need is the men. What you need is the men. And that man, if he was a commercial guy, sell to everybody, there's a big problem there. Some dogs are going to be the best ones. Some are going to be, there is a decay that happens, right, with time. But when you're looking at a bloodline is based out of one super dog, and then everything else, it starts to water down. So you caught it at the very beginning, right next to the super dog, a combination of the super dog, and you might be in a safe place. Or you caught it on the watered down process where they try to, it's tied on Mayday. It's tied on, what do you get with the battle cross, or they bred Mayday to a roach or to a cat. So you got to understand this. All these projects usually don't work. They're good for one generation, 2 generations, 1 season, 2 seasons. Finding the very best is what helped me grow. Finding the very best. And having determination to have was the very best. So yes, the American Pit Bull Terrier, absolutely. 123 pitbulls.com. You can enjoy whatever dog you want to. You can go to dog shows. You can do jumping walls. You can do race, whatever. All that stuff is absolutely positive. I support it. I support those guys, whoever doing that. But for the young generations that are coming through, if you choose to do that, that is your call in life, go ahead and enjoy it, man. Absolutely. You want to do some way pulleys and take a dog that you can start going to bigger, and you have a 150-pound pit bull, you call it pit bull. Go ahead, man. Go ahead if that make you happy. But if you on the other side where you are I want to have absolutely madness for absolutely the best of the best, there's only one man at the level. His name is Chico Lopez. And the page is 123 pitbulls.com. Madness, driven by absolutely madness. All goats are driven by madness, and they invest time. I invested over 3 decades already, and I continue to progress, to understand everything. I have tremendous playbacks. I always go back on my mind and study some of the things that happen so I can comprehend them a little better, going to the center, going to the future, and stuff like that. Again, one more time, this audio has no malicious intent. Swear to God, that's what I don't even mention. Put this, might be, whatever, because I don't have. If somebody starts to call you, oh, look at this guy made this, the guy that told you that is a little bitch, okay? Just so you understand. Whoever called, hey, Chico, all this, the guy that told you that is a bitch, because that motherfucker could have just listened to what I said and learn from it and utilize it for what it is, to learn, to become better, to grow. Because they want to gossip, then they the most common hoes are those that like to gossip. That is a very feminine feeling. I do have respect for people that do dog shows. I do have respect for people that show dogs. It is extremely difficult when they're on that world. And I do have respect for that world. But in my world of only the best, I'm in a different scenario. And this is the home of the really super best American Pit Bull Terrier. Nothing come close to it, because nobody can come and say, Chico, I have done more than you. I have worked harder than you. Nobody can do that. Nobody, absolutely, not dead, not alive, and it will not happen in the future. I don't need a association or a group of people to come and give me my flowers. I earn those. And on pictures like this, when you compare, is when you see and you say, what the fuck, the guy is fucking amazing. You look at a toss from Bucha, you look at this, you look at that, and you know there's levels to this shit. You understand? So I am with all the people that want to build something positive, but let's not get confused to what is the real American Pit Bull Terrier. With that being said, my respect, my support to everybody out there. And this is just a lesson to teach you people that the real American Pit Bull is a red dog from Chico Lopez. God bless you. Bye-bye.